Alright, we're skipping Leviticus 1 through 5 because there's nothing there. But in chapter 6, it talks about trespass offerings, burnt offerings, meat offerings, and sin offerings. And it goes into more detail in chapter 7 about the trespass offering, peace offerings, offerings for thanksgiving. And I circled verse 24. And then it talks about the law of consecrations. Chapter 8. He poured the anointing oil upon Aaron's head and anointed him to sanctify him. I circled verse 13. Today the Lord will appear unto you. I circled verse 24. Drink not wine nor strong drink. Which living things may and may not be eaten, you shall eat. I circled verse 3. And you shall not eat camel, coney, hare, swine. I circled verse 8. And then in verse 9 we have those in the waters. And verse 12 I circled. Fowls, flying creeping things like the locust, the beetle, the grasshopper. Unclean creeping things like the weasel, the mouse, the tortoise, the ferret, the lizard, the snail, the mole. And if you touch anything that's dead of those things, you'll be unclean until the evening. You shall be holy, for I am holy. And 47 I circled. Alright, there's nothing in 12. Chapter 13. It says this leprosy identifies it and how to cure it as best they could in those days. It is a leprosy, a boil, hot burning, a plague upon the head of the beard, dry scall, if the skull spread, white bright spots, the garment. I circled verse 45. You must burn that garment. Alright, 14. The law of leper and his cleansing. And then it goes on to, I circled verse 22. Leprosy in a house. It says to scrape that house. When someone has a running issue. Women with blood in the tower of separation. Periods. Nothing in 16. Sacrifices are to be offered only at the Lord's tabernacle. Only unto the Lord at the tabernacle. No more sacrifices unto devils. Soul that eateth blood, cut them off. 11 and 12 I circled. 14 I circled. Sexual abominations. I circled verse 6. I circled 15 through 16, 19 through 23, and 29. I circled 19 verses 15, 17 through 19. And then in 25, I highlighted that in the 5th year you shall eat of the fruit. Therefore, the 1st through the 4th year you do not eat of the fruit. Do not use enchantment nor observe times. You shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, neither print any marks. 31. Regard, not that have familiar spirits, even seek for wizards, to be defiled by them, for I am the Lord your God. Verse 20, or chapter 20, verse 13 says, If a man also lie with mankind, they shall be put to death. A wizard, stone them. 21 doesn't have anything. 22 has a little bit. The soul which hath touched any such that shall be unclean until even shall not eat of the holy things, unless he wash his flesh with water. 23, there's a little bit. 50 days you shall have a new meat offering. That's another Sabbath, because every 7 days you have a Sabbath day, so every 50 days you have another Sabbath day. So it's pretty nice. Feast of the Lord. 24. I circled verse 16. In 25 I circled verse 3. 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land. Neither sow thy field nor prune. Thou shalt not reap. You need to gather in through from the 6th year, twice as much for the 7th year. And then it says in verse 10, Hallow the 50th year, our Jubilee. It's like a sabbatical year. Every 7 years you take a sabbatical year. And so every 50 years you take a Jubilee. And circle verse 13. And then not oppress one another during the Jubilee. And circle verse 20 and 21. And hired servants shall serve thee until the year of the Jubilee. After the year of the Jubilee they're free. And we're a servant. 26. Keep my commandments, I will give peace. And verse 9 I circled. Verse 14 and 16 and 18 and 20 I circled. 21 I circled. 26 and 28 I circled. 33 I circled. 40 through 42 I circled. And then nothing at 27.